Hi, how's it going? I hope you're doing very well and having a wonderful day. It's finally my day off, so I wanted to film for you guys. Today's video is a requested video, and I will show you step by step how I condition my leather handbags. And I'll show you before shots, I'll show you how I do it, I'll show after shots, and I'll give some tips, some disclaimers before we get too far into the video. I just wanted to share and just say I am a fellow handbag lover. I am by no means a leather expert, so I have done my research to the best that I can, and please look into other sources. If you have specific questions, ask and comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. But again, like I said, I am not a leather craftsman expert or anything like that. The other thing that I wanted to share with you guys is I will be conditioning several of my leather handbags from Portland Leather Goods, and all of my leather handbags that I'll show you here in a second, none of them have been conditioned before, so this will be the first time. I use my leather handbags as either a work bag or as an everyday bag. I am pretty hard on the bag, so they have scratches, they have signs of wear, and so by conditioning leather handbags, it will help recondition and bring the leather back to life, and it will buff out some of the scratches and things like that. And lastly, another disclaimer is leather handbags that I will be conditioning today, those are full grain cowhide leather, and it is not the untreated or veg tan leather such as the Louis Vuitton Vachetta leather, or Go Forth Goods also has an untreated veg tan leather, so I will not be including those in today's video. Some tips from the Portland Leather Goods website and some other tips that I came across. So the first tip is leather in itself will condition itself over time with use from the inside out, and it will develop a patina and a shine to the leather, and so naturally leather will get scratches and different signs of wear and tear. It is not necessary, and try to resist conditioning your bag every single time there is a scratch. Overall, like I said, leather is meant to be used over time, and it gives it character, so a lot of the scratches will naturally come out by itself as a bag patinas or darkens over time. And so I am choosing to condition my leather handbags today. I haven't conditioned them before. I also have had these bags for anywhere from the range of about 6 months to a year and a half. And I noticed that some of them are starting to look a little bit dry, and I just really wanted to condition up the corners that have extra spots of wear and tear, as well as some areas that have deeper scratches that I will share with you here in a little bit. The next tip is really be mindful and do your research before you condition your leather handbag. There are different types of leathers, and for example, today we will be conditioning my Portland Leather Goods handbags, which is a full grain cowhide handbag. And I say this with a grain of salt because if your handbag is untreated Vachetta leather or the veg tan leather, I would be cautious and double check because it could darken that leather. Or if your leather is a different type such as nubuck leather that has more of a suede feel to it, those fibers stand up differently on the leather, and so you would not want to use the same conditioner that I am sharing and using today, but instead I would recommend using something such as Apple Guard or a spray protectant for nubuck leather. That way it doesn't mat down the leather fibers, and so the bag can stay looking its best over time. The third tip is before you condition any type of leather bag, it is recommended that you do a test spot with the conditioner on your handbag. And I would recommend doing the test spot such as on the inside of the leather, like on a pocket, or on the underside of a bag, or do a little test spot on like a handle where it's not easily noticeable if, say, it darkens it or it changes the bag in a way that you are not satisfied. So welcome to my video. If you're coming back, thank you so much. I hope you really enjoy this, and if you are new, welcome. Here we like to talk about handbags and do different reviews and unboxings, and I sometimes share travel related tips and things like that. I would love to have you join along, or also hit the like button if you enjoy content like this. Before we get too far into the video, I wanted to show you the before of each of the handbags and share which ones we were conditioning today. So this first one, this is my Portland Leather Goods large tote. This is my very first one, and this is in the beautiful leather called Honey. And it's just natural sunlight right now, so hopefully there's not too much of a glare up close. I feel like the leather is starting to look a little bit dry. I'm not sure if you can appreciate it through the camera lens, but you can also see that there are some scuffs and some scratches all around. Hopefully the camera is picking up some of these scratches. I feel like when I first got this bag, the scratches showed pretty easily, but with use, it kind of has gone away. So that again shows that you don't have to condition it every single time. Here's what the bottom looks like. And I'll share what the corners. This one it doesn't have too much corner wear, just a little bit. And this is what the back of the bag looks like. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I just feel like it looks a little bit dry, and there are some scuffs here and there. So I really wanted to see if the leather conditioner will bring out some of those scuffs. The other thing too is, before we move on to the next bag, I had already pre-conditioned the inside of the pocket as my test spot. And so where I picked to do my test spot, so all their leather handbags have this inner pocket, and I actually did the test spot here on the back side of the inner pocket. I have conditioned probably this left upper corner, and just looking through right now, so this side compared to this side would be the treated side with the Patina Ultimate Leather Cleaner, and this is the untreated side. I don't see any major discolorations or anything like that, so I do feel comfortable conditioning the rest of my handbag and the exterior of my handbag. So the next bag that I will be conditioning this is my Portland Leather Goods oversized Cognac tote. It's also in this really beautiful, like dark reddish purplish leather color. This bag does have a sheen to it. It may look a little bit more because of the natural light from my window. When I first got this bag definitely scratched pretty easily. I remember, I think the very first day I brought this to work, I put this underneath my desk and I really scuffed up the sides of the bag. I feel like it's less noticeable now. Hopefully the camera can appreciate it. But these are from the very first day that I used the bag. And then down here, you can see there are some scratches and some wear. Here's what the front pocket looks like. The bottom doesn't look too bad. There are some spots here and there. This bag seems to have a little bit more corner wear. I think it's probably just because it's a darker leather color. Here is what the back of the Cognac tote looks like. This is the before. And so again, there are several scratches. They're pretty minor, but there are definitely still lots of scratches all around this tote bag. And so yeah, I had also already pre-conditioned again the inside of the pocket. And so cool thing about this one is I have really cool hide stamp. And so let me show you what it looks like. So I did my test spot here on the back side of the pocket. This left upper corner is already conditioned, and the right side, it has not been conditioned yet. I really don't see a huge difference between the two sides. I feel comfortable with this test spot, so I will go ahead and we will condition the whole exterior of this bag together. Next up, this is my oversized Portland Leather Goods tote in the beautiful Caribbean blue-green color. This one is my newest oversized tote. It doesn't have a ton of wear, but I figured while I'm conditioning my bags, I'll include this one. There are some. What's interesting is with the scratches on Caribbean, it actually shows up as like much lighter, like white spots. And I also noticed Caribbean seems to have corner wear a lot more than my other two, even though this one is my newest bag. And so I will definitely try to be mindful and condition the corners a little bit more on this bag. And this is what the back looks like. It looks pretty good. The only spot that I really see is here kind of in the middle of the bag. There are some really deep scratches in the circle scratch here. So I'm really curious to see what the conditioner is going to do for those areas. And again, let me show you what my little test spot looks like. So this left upper side has already been conditioned, and this is the unconditioned side. Again, don't see a huge difference. If anything, this looks a little bit more hydrated than this side, but overall it looks pretty uniform, pretty good. Last but not least, this is my medium Aqua Portland Leather Goods Snap Journal. So this is what Aqua Journal looks like. The reason why I am showing you guys the Aqua, and this is what this one has quite a lot of scratches on here as well. And with this one, I've noticed the scratches kind of alternate between the lighter white scratches, but Aqua also has some darker areas as well. And I wanted to test this because I actually have an Aqua Rainstorm and an Aqua large Boston wallet. So I wanted to test this first before I test it on my handbags, because I have seen pictures that it may actually darken the Aqua color. I tested the bottom portion of this back panel. So this bottom part has already been conditioned and it's dry. compared to the top part up here. It looks interesting. I think there are some areas where it does look darker. I'm not sure if it's picking up on the camera, but like here in the middle, but then down here, it looks a little bit lighter. So I have a feeling that with Aqua, the overall look of the bag will look darker. So let's start with some supplies that you will need. The first one is it's not really a supply. I recommend that you do this in an open space with a window open or in a ventilated area. So today we are here in my living room, which is a change of scenery for you guys. Number two, you guys will obviously need a leather handbag. So we are going to be conditioning several different handbags today. But for example, this is my Portland Leather Goods Honey Large Tote. The next thing that you will need is a leather conditioner. And for today, we are going to be using the Portland Leather Goods Patina, the Ultimate Leather Cleaner. I'll link it down below if you're interested. I had actually got this because when I had taken the trip to Portland to the actual store, the sales associate used this on a laptop case that I had purchased. There were a couple really deep scratches and she used this and it completely revived my laptop case and I was so impressed. I was like, this stuff seems amazing, and so we will be using this today. Be sure to double check what type of leather handbag you will be using because this is for general full grain leather, but it is not for nubuck leather, suedes, all that type of leathers. And then last but not least, you will need some lint-free microfiber cloth. These are some general ones. I have two of them because one of them I'm going to put the leather conditioner on and rub it into the bag, and then I'm going to use the other one to then wipe off the excess leather conditioner. And so that's why I personally have two of them, but if you don't have two, that's okay. You can totally just get by with one of them. Step one would be get a handbag, and you're gonna wanna prepare your handbag in an open, ventilated area. You're going to want to completely empty out all of the pockets inside the handbag. That way you can focus on the handbag itself. And if there are any super dirty areas, you can brush and clean the leather handbag with a leather conditioner if you choose to. Let it dry fully and then proceed with leather conditioning. I'm going to bypass that step today and we are just going to jump straight into conditioning. So step two would be take your microfiber cloth. This is just a regular generic one. And you're going to put a small dime size amount of leather conditioner. A little bit goes a long ways. And I'm just gonna kind of dampen it in there and just start in an area and just kind of rub it into the leather handbag in a circular motion. I'm going to turn the bag kind of on its side. Hopefully you can still see. And you can even use some pressure if you want to get some of the deeper scratches out. Pay attention to the area that gets a lot of wear and tear. Really try to buff and work the leather conditioner into the handbag. Do it over here on the top. And then we'll move over to the pocket next. Just gonna get a little bit more leather conditioner. Again, just get a dime size amount. And I like to dab it so it's not super wet in one area. I'm going to work on conditioning this front pocket. So I'm just gonna spread it around and then go in circular motions. And there, where there was this area with this scuff, and really try to work the conditioner in there. I'm gonna work my way down to these corners, along the bottom. And then now let me do this other side. We're gonna do this last side on the front. And so there are some of these darker scuffs like over here. I'm gonna try to really go in circular motions and try to buff it out as best that I can. And then again, I'm really gonna focus on the corners. Let's condition the bottom of the bag. Just trying to really get those corners. And then now let's move to the back side of the bag, and then I'll just quickly do the sides. Starting at the corner and go along the sides. So it's really interesting. I'll show you the after. This leather conditioner is not making honey glisten or look like with a sheen, which I was kind of hoping that it would, because I thought that I felt like honey was looking a little bit dry. But so far, the honey leather is kind of staying and looking the same. This last upper part, and then we will almost be done with the sandbag. And then we're going to do this little tabby part on the zipper pull, and this zipper pull, and this little zipper tab, since it's all the same leather. So in case it does change, everything will stay uniform. And I'm just going to, I don't think these leather handles are bad, but I will just go ahead and run my microfiber cloth on these handles as well. Now, so this one was a one that I used where I put the leather conditioner directly on. So I'm going to get my second one, which is dry, and I'm going to just go over and rebuff the entire bag again and to try to get off the excess conditioner. So I'm just gonna go in circular motions and rebuff the entire tote. The sides, move to the back. And I'll just run it through the handles. Ideally, you want to let it dry for about 24 hours in a dry, cool spot out of direct sunlight. All right, moving on. This is my oversized cognac. So just to repeat the process again.
Shine bright up all night, we're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes, we're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. If for a second I could feel like this, make me feel like this.
All right, now that we are done, these bags have been drying for about 15 hours, and I just wanted to show you the update on what they look like after conditioning them. Also, the other thing too is it's cloudy outside right now, so I do also have my ring light instead of natural light if they look a little bit darker. Okay, so this is my large honey tote. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I think some of the scratches are less noticeable. I think there's just some minor little discolorations, but overall most of them I feel like are pretty much gone. And so that's what the front looks like. This is what the back looks like. I will also post before and after pictures at the end of the video so you can see them side by side. I can hardly appreciate any scratches, which is really nice. And then here's what the bottom looks like. So I really feel like this one looks really good. Next, this is my oversized tote in cognac, and this one I felt like had the best results. So it has the same sheen that it originally had and a lot of minor scratches. Let me come up close. There are some like discoloration in some spots here and there, but they're so minor that overall I feel like, given how easily this darker bag scratches, I feel like it's not noticeable right now. And this is the one that I brought to work, and there were some scratches here on the side. You can see some wrinkling there, that's wrinkling. But those scratches that were there before are completely gone, which is amazing. And this is what the back looks like. Also looks really good, but overall I'm really pleased with how these bags are turning out. Next, this is my oversized tote in Caribbean. And this bag, I feel like I didn't notice that much of a difference. I think it looks a little bit more healthy and hydrated. The leather does. And minor differences are I don't see any scratches. This one, I remember there were some scratches down here in the corner, some white ones. I feel like they're still there, but they're less noticeable. And let me show you the corners, because this is the one with a lot of corner wear. It still has corner wear. And then the back, this one is the one where I really wanted to show you. This is what the back looks like. And remember, there were these 4 scratches and they look exactly the same. Let me come up even closer. And if anything, with me rubbing in this area, I think now there's like a white patch from when I was really trying to like buff it out. I don't mind it. Overall, these bags are leather. They're meant to be used and I still really love them. Last but not least is my Aqua journal. I ended up conditioning the entire journal because I wanted to see if it was going to darken it so I could see what it looks like before I did my rainstorm. And if you remember, there were lots of scratches here on the back, and there were white scratches and dark scratches. So it looks like the conditioner got the white scratches out, and then the dark scratches are there. It's probably from just how the leather ages with use. The other thing that I noticed with Aqua is it looks a little bit darker, but for me, I think the biggest change after conditioning is I felt like before there was a little bit more color variations in terms of the lightness and darkness of the leather, so where it looks like water. Now I feel like overall it has more of a darker look to it with a little bit less color variation, but I'm not sure if maybe with use and bending and things like that, that pull up will come back out, or I can just kind of go like that and maybe the pull out will come back out with it. That's pretty much it for today's video. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please comment down below and let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you have any other requests. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day and good luck to you as you condition your leather handbags to keep them looking their best.